Hey guys, what's up, how's it going? Welcome back for another video on the channel. In today's video, this is going to be the weekly update for the dividend investing case study. So in today's video, like usual, I'll show you guys an overview of our portfolios. I'll show you guys what stocks we bought for this week, and I'll give you guys an update on our dividends, as well as towards the end of the video, I'll showcase to you guys how we've been quote unquote living off our dividends, which has been a fun little experiment that I've been kind of doing since I first started investing on this channel. So like usual, if you guys enjoy this video, you guys want to support the channel, be sure to smash the like button and remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more updates like this on a regular basis. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to jump inside the portfolios and let's see how portfolios have been performing over the past week. Alright guys, what's up, how's it going? Welcome back for the portfolio update. Like usual, we'll start the videos off going through overall portfolios. We'll do a quick little overview of all of our portfolios. We'll cover some things like the year return rate and whatnot. And then as we go through the video, we'll talk about dividends. I'll show you guys what stocks I bought and we'll kind of keep going from there. So the first thing we'll cover here really quickly is do a bird's eye view of our portfolios on passive. So the three main portfolios that we have on here are going to be my personal account, my TFSA, and then my fiance's TFSA. So all these stocks and all these portfolios add up together to be $134,000 in total. This is the number up here, and we can see, over time, it's basically just been us putting money into the market on a regular basis, reinvesting our dividends and our passive income stocks, and just kind of them growing over time. And we have seen quite a bit of a growth over the past little while. So let's kind of dive inside these portfolios individually, and then I'll show you guys what stock I bought for this week. So before we go any further in today's video, I just want to do a quick little shout to Wealthsimple Trade. So as you guys know, I use Wealthsimple Trade on this YouTube channel. It's my main brokerage that I use to manage my own self-managed portfolio. So if you guys want to sign up to Wealthsimple Trade, you guys can get $25 to sign up and get free commission trades when you fund at least $150 inside your account. So you need to sign up today if you guys want to take advantage of this exclusive offer. And also, if you guys have an account that's over $5,000 and you transfer it to Wealthsimple Trade, they will pay the fee that you might get charged for another bank or brokerages. So that's something to think about as well. So if you guys are on the fence and you want to get started with investing, definitely take advantage of this offer. And if you guys want to support the channel, be sure to click the link in the description of today's video. So the first portfolios we're going to cover really quickly are going to be my portfolios on Wealthsimple Trade, and the first one is going to be the TFSA. So this one has been basically is just sitting here for the rest of the year. We're basically just reinvesting the dividends. It's all maxed out, so there's not too much to do here. It's kind of basically on autopilot. Any dividends that come in, we just put them into stocks, we set up the allocations, and it pretty much just does its own thing. The one-day return for the TFSA is about 0%. In fact, I'm going to go backwards here just for a second. We're going to cover some of the ETFs here that we have. So it is Friday, 4:30 p.m. So it's pretty much markets closed at this point. You guys will probably see this video on Saturday or Sunday or something like that, most likely Saturday. HYLD is down 0.4%, VDY is down negative 0.12%, and VFE is down 0.4% as well. So a little bit of dip in the markets, even though the past couple weeks and past couple months actually have seen a bit of an increase. In fact, if we go back inside the TFSA, the 1 week return is going to be around 1%. So we did see a little bit of a gain. The 1 month return is once again a little bit over 1%. 3 month return is 7%. So over the past 3 months, our TFSA, which is mostly US based stocks, ETFs, has returned 7%, doing pretty solid. The 1 year return for our TFSA is 13%. So again, this is probably one of the most basic and easiest ways you guys can invest. I show this on this channel. It's buying funds, buying ETFs, diversifying a little bit, and then playing around with a little bit of money with whatever you guys want to do. For me, it's Canadian dividend stocks as well as some passive income funds. So 1 year return up 13%, and again, just regularly doing things, just keeping it super simple. All-time return inside the TFSA is up 14%, and this includes dividends and everything as well. And once again, this is mostly focused on the US markets with a little bit of Canadian stocks too. About 50% of our portfolio is in the S&P 500, and then the rest in Canadian stocks as well as some passive income funds. Moving on here to the personal account, this is going to be my Canadian dividend portfolio. Has a little bit of dividend stocks because of the dividend tax credit and different things like that. This portfolio will most likely eventually go inside my fiance's TFSA at some point, or I could, put it inside an RSP or something like that when we get to that point. But once again, focus is on my fiance's TFSA. So our Canadian stocks are basically about 16% all time, and this portfolio has performed quite well. Keep in mind, we did sell quite a bit of the holdings. We made a big sell in March, and then we made a big sell in May. To put that inside my fiance's TFSA. So once again, kind of just focusing on that tax-free income growth. And the last portfolio we've been focusing on, and the main one I've been buying stocks with, is my fiance's TFSA because she has a lot of room. So we're basically working together to kind of build this up and grow it. And this really shows you guys, like if you guys look at this and you can see the power of two people working together, this is one thing I like to preach. I like to kind of tell people is that like life is a lot easier when you work with others or you work with a partner to kind of reach your goals. And me and my fiance, I think I'm blessed to have somebody who's very not necessarily like financially savvy or really interested in this stuff, but somebody who's just willing to kind of work with me and always try new things and kind of work together, right? And that's really what it is. So she's still learning a lot of this stuff, and I kind of do the bulk of the work, but she does have her portfolio set up, and she actually is investing in her portfolio. We set up our allocations. She uses passive to tell her what stocks to invest into, and then she just goes in and makes her trades. In fact, actually today, we were going to put some money inside her portfolio, but she was like, no, I want to invest myself. I want to do it myself. So, I think she's starting to realize the cool effect of seeing your money grow and seeing those dividends compound and grow. And it's a very good feeling. And I think, and I'm really happy and proud of her for doing that. And I think she's starting to see how cool it is. So anyways, covering really quickly, this is the 1 year return. We're just kind of look at some big things here really quickly. So let's go year to date here. So she's got about $20,000 inside her portfolio. The year-to-date return is going to be up 8.6%, and her portfolio is focused on a few ETFs here. And we'll scroll at the bottom and we can see the ETFs. That's VDY, HOLD, VFE, FTN, and HDIV. So she's got a mixture of growth. Once again, mostly growth with the S&P 500, a little bit of Canadian dividend stocks, and then some passive income stocks, and it's been doing its thing. And again, all time compounding our stocks together, we've seen some nice growth overall inside the markets. And the very last portfolio we'll talk about really quickly is going to be my ESSOP with my employer. This is kind of like an employee stock purchase program. You basically buy the company stock and the company will match. So I get a 25% match from my company for Loblaws because I work with Loblaws. I work part-time. So they basically, I think I can put 5% of my paycheck in and they match that 5% with 25%. So think of it this way, whatever money I invest in Loblaws, which is an amazing company in itself, and I actually would buy the company myself, I get a 25% instant gain. So it's really a no-brainer. Obviously, of course, because it's only a part-time job, I'm not making a lot of money, and even 5%, even if you did make a lot of money, it would take a long time to compound and grow. But it's nothing to snuff about. It's obviously over time it compounds and grows, and we have about $1,000 or so that's kind of been doing its own thing. So just want to do a quick little update on that. And again, once again, summary of all of our accounts together is $135,000. That's the ESSOP, my personal account, fiance's TFSA, and then my TFSA as well. And we can look at some other things here like the portfolio yield, about 3.78%. Yield on cost is around 4%, and our annual income is $5,000. So even though it's a very much growth-oriented portfolio, we are getting some nice dividend income on a regular basis. So I've managed to figure out a way to basically show all both our portfolios on Wealthsimple. This is something I didn't know you could do before, but I kind of managed to set this up. So I'm going to show you guys the buys that I made for June and basically all of our accounts. So once again, you guys can scroll up here and see. Also, if you guys are Blossom users, all my buys are recorded there inside my portfolios. Because I don't have multiple portfolio reporting yet, I can't put my fiance's portfolio on there. But eventually when they do have multiple portfolios, hopefully you guys will see my buys on Blossom. Right now it doesn't look like I'm buying a lot because a lot of the buys are going into my fiance's TFSA. So once again, they're not being recorded, but basically simple stuff. We'll scroll up to the top here, buying, our basic ETFs like HDIV, FTN, VDY, VFE. And because she does have a focus on the ETFs, that's pretty much what I've been buying. I haven't been buying a lot of individual stocks. I'm kind of thinking about trimming up my own positions to kind of be certain ways, and I also got to fix the allocation on my portfolio. So for the time being, we're just going to keep things simple. We're going to focus on the funds and the ETFs, and then eventually when we kind of get that figured out and we get it to where we want to be, we will start buying individual stocks. And I know a lot of you guys like to see the individual stocks, but it's just been mostly ETFs. And if you guys want, I'll go back into Wealthsimple Trade here. Let's check out my TFSA. And actually, towards the end of the video, I will give you guys the all-time return of all my individual stocks. But we'll take a quick little peek. You guys can see I do hold some individual stocks inside my TFSA, like AQN, ATD, CNR, Fortis, TELUS, TD. Some other ones too inside my personal account, but it's the same thing with these individual stocks. You could buy them at any point in the time. They're long-term buy and hold companies. They're good quality companies. You never really have to worry about it. I guess with a stock like AQN or something like that, some of the individual stocks are a little bit more riskier than others. But again, if you believe in the long-term value of the company, there's, and you allocate a percentage of your portfolio to those individual stocks, and you're okay with it, then there's nothing wrong with buying them, you know. And that's kind of the approach I've always done. Now, again, I don't hold a lot of individual stocks. It probably represents about 5 or 10% of my portfolio, but I just wanted to kind of point it out to you guys. And once again, if you guys want to see all my stocks, all my holdings, there is a link to Blossom in the description of the video. So here's the all-time return section of the portfolio. I didn't do an all-time return update in the last video because I just wanted to change things up a little bit. But it does seem like a lot of you guys like to see the all-time returns, and I think it's important to show the all-time returns, right? Whenever you get dividend income, especially with some of the dividend stocks, the higher yield ones, it makes a big difference, right? So I'll start showing these on a regular basis, of course. Now, once again, I did manage to basically set up both my fiance's and my account in here. So now we can see our total holdings, 136. I know in the past, it would just be my holdings, but we managed to fix that. And once again, we can see here the different percentages here, US and Canadian stocks. Now, if we scroll down here, let's see, I'll make sure I'm on the holdings tab. We can see whenever there's basically two W's here, this means that there's overlap inside our accounts. So this is from one Wealthsimple account, this is from the other. And if you guys are wondering how I managed to set up both accounts, basically what I did is I hooked up my account, my Wealthsimple portfolio to Wealthica, and then I signed out of my Wealthsimple account, signed into my fiance's account, and then I hooked it up again. So basically at the top here, I have two different Wealthsimple trade ones. Unfortunately, it doesn't like tell me which one it is, but I can click them on and off and it'll change. So here's my fiance's portfolio of $19,000, and I can add mine here, and it holds two. Some of the reporting when you go individually, it kind of screws up a little bit, but if you basically select them together, it seems to report accurately. So just again, not too sure if there's some errors there, but it should be good here. So once again, anything with a W, two W's here basically means there's an overlap, but it's averaging them out. So if you guys watch my previous videos, you might see some of the allocations are the total return be a little bit off or a little bit different because now we're adding in her portfolios too, right? So just kind of, again, keep that in mind here. So the first stock we have here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see a little bit better if you guys want here. So we have the ETFs here. We have the book price. So the book price is the total value, and then we have the quantity, which is how many shares I own. You don't really need to know the quantity of the shares. Just pay attention to the book value. So the book value would say I own $61,000 of VFE or $32,000 of VDY, et cetera, et cetera. The revenue tab is going to be the dividends. So this is how much distributions I received. And of course, the dividend funds are always going to have more revenue than the growth funds. And the passive income funds are probably going to have more revenue than everything else, right? You know, HYLD, I only hold $14,000 in, yet I have $1,000 in dividends. So it's, you know, and then VDY, I have $32,000 in holdings, but I have $3,000 in dividends. So once again, obviously the passive income funds are going to give a little bit more distributions. The total gain here is going to be the dividends plus stock growth. And then here on the right side is going to be a percentage of that. So if we go VFB, 9% total return, this is a dividends plus the growth of the company since I first started investing. And if you guys want to see the growth gain here, it's on the far right side. So 6.78% from VDY in terms of growth. And if we add the dividends, which would be about 2.5%, I think, that would equal 9%. VDY, much more dividend focused fund, right? 5% in growth, about 9% in dividends, I guess. So, you know, you can see the big difference here. Same with HYLD, negative 2% in stock growth since I first started investing. But if we add in the distributions, it actually adds up to be about 6% extra. So always look at the total return. TD, once again, you know, looks crappy, 2% gain, but then you add in the dividends, it makes a big difference here. So again, just kind of look at the total returns of some of the stocks. ATD, AQN, we're down probably my most negative holding. I haven't bought AQN for a while. I think they have a dividend distribution coming up. I think it's this month or next month. I don't remember, but it should be coming in soon. I haven't, once again, I just haven't focused on the individual stocks because we're focusing on my fiance's portfolio. So that's the only reason why I haven't been buying. I've basically just been buying ETFs. So wish I had more money, but unfortunately, you got to do what you got to do, right? Focus on your goals. You got to focus on your goals first, and then when you hit them, you can do other things. I've always kind of been one to kind of follow that. CNR is going to be the next one at 3% total gain. Some of the Canadian ones, once again, we did see a decent dip in the market in the Canadian funds. In fact, before we end this video, we'll take a peek at the markets and do a quick little recap to see how things have been doing. Quick little updates on some of the newer ones. HDIV is 5% gain. This is because my fiance had some older shares of HDIV, so it was up a little bit higher before my own portfolio. But if we add hers in, it's down a little bit. FTN up 1.54%. So we did see that dividend of $13, our first $13 dividend. So it's pretty sweet. this is more like a fun. I'm just kind of playing around to Split Share Corp. I want to see how they work. I'm experimenting with it. It's such a small holding. We'll see over time if I want to keep going with them, but I'm kind of in the experimental stage, so just kind of keep that in mind. Fortis 10% gains. Fortis is chucking along there, and then some of our other ETFs here at the bottom. So once again, just a quick little total return update. Obviously, the Canadian markets have dipped a bit, but the US markets seem to be going pretty strong. And I just want to do a quick little recap on the markets overall to kind of give you guys a perspective of what's been going on, because it's easy, you know, when you go day by day and you see the gains, it's kind of easy to kind of not realize how much things have gone up, right? Like if you watch the news or if you read some social media posts and stuff, you would think that, you know, the markets, you know, we keep hearing about this crash, we keep hearing about these things. You would think the markets are doing crappy, but if you zoom out and look even year to date, actually some of the markets have been performing quite well. Now with the US funds, it's obviously some of the tech companies are pulling it up, but that's the whole reason, that's the whole point of an index fund, is to buy funds so that when some things like the tech stocks go up, you benefit from it. Now, of course, if you own Microsoft, you own Facebook, I think Nvidia, some of the other big ones, of course you would have performed better. But the whole point of an index fund is to take advantage of those stocks that do better, and it helps pull up your overall return. So if you invest in the index, you're actually up almost 12, you're probably up 12, maybe even 13%, depending on the dividends and stuff like that. So obviously you're doing quite well. Like if we look at the 1 year return, VFE is actually up 21%. So again guys, like I know it's easy to get distracted, and again, anybody can invest whatever way they want, but understand that investing in the index and ETFs, it's always going to be a nice conservative passive approach to do things, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you guys can see that's basically what I do, and I'm actually having pretty good success. So you don't have to overcomplicate things if you don't want to. You can keep it simple and you can still perform very well. In fact, you can perform a lot better than people who spend all day doing this stuff just by investing into an index fund. You can. I mean, obviously it's going to be different for everybody, but you can actually perform quite well. And it's a very simple approach. It's very fundamental. It's very simple. And you guys know that's exactly what I do. So again, nobody knows what's going to happen over the next little while, but you know, we keep hearing about this crash. We keep hearing that, you know, you shouldn't buy stocks since, I don't know, the beginning of the year. And wow, if you didn't buy stocks, you'd be out 12% gain. Sounds pretty sweet to me. I don't know about you guys. Of course, Canadian markets aren't doing as well, but they're still not like horrible. I mean, with VDY, I'm going to use VDY as an example because it's the fund I hold, but there's a couple other Canadian, you know, more broader funds you could use if you want. But we'll just look at this one because it's just the one I hold. Obviously, some of the financial stocks are pulling this one down, right? But I think the overall Canadian market is down a little bit. Year to date, negative 0%. So obviously, Canadian markets aren't basically aren't doing as well. But again, you know what? It's the same thing last year. You know, when the US markets didn't do as good, Canadian stocks did better. I find they go opposite of each other. So I always like to have the diversification, right? And then also the Canadian stocks give me the dividends. So, you know, if I want to buy US stocks with the dividends, I can do that as well. But I just want to give a quick little update and a quick little perspective about how the markets overall are doing, because it's easy to kind of lose track of how things are going when you're constantly kind of being bombarded with different types of information on the internet. And before we close out the video and get to the end here, I just want to give you guys a quick little update on the dividend history for our portfolio. So here's all of our portfolios together. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this. Here's the dividend income since we first started investing at the beginning of the year. This is the year-to-date dividend return. So for the month of June, we hit a total of 310 dividends between all of our accounts. So May was a pretty big month for us, $348. April obviously being our big quarterly payments, $575. So July is going to be a big month for us. So not too many new stocks for dividends. For the month of June, I think we have a couple coming up towards the end of the month, but of course, you know, July is going to be the big month, so we're definitely looking forward to that. All right, so one of the things that I do on this channel is focus on our dividends and our passive income and stuff like that. And one thing I did in the past on the channel is I showcased to you guys how we've been using our investments. Again, this is just for fun, we're just pretending, but how you can use your investments to basically improve things and have some fun and kind of see the value of money growing over time. One of the best ways to do this is to take your money and kind of pretend to use it for different things and stuff like that. Now, you could actually spend your dividends, there's nothing wrong with that, but we like to do, of course, I'm reinvesting those dividends. So really what I'm doing is I'm using the income I'm getting on a regular basis basis for my job to do these things, but I can kind of reflect and look at, when the eventual time comes, or even if I just want to use my dividend income, I can use it to pay for some of the necessities of life and enjoy it. So it's kind of a cool way to kind of keep yourself motivated, keep yourself focused, and kind of enjoy some of the fruits and the benefits of this whole investing journey as you go. So the thing we're going to be focusing on today is going to be probiotics. So I talked about in the previous video how we dedicate a little bit of money from our dividends every single month to go grocery shopping. So I pretend to take some money, I go to the store and I buy some stuff, I reflect, and I'd be like, hey, you know what, this is stuff I bought for my dividends. It was something I didn't have to work for, and it's something cool, and we try to be all frugal and stuff like that. So one of the things I've kind of been focusing on, and you guys might not, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm a bit of a health freak. I like to be healthy. As I've gotten older, I've learned the value of health and stuff like that, and it's never a journey that's easy. It's always full of ups and downs because, life is hard and stuff like that, but it's all about the little things. So one of the things you have to be careful when you're being frugal and you're trying to save money and you're trying to kind of basically focus on your goals in other areas of life is you have to be careful not to focus too much at the expense of other things. So, it's easy to get caught up in work. It's easy to get caught up with the idea of, what, I need to spend as little money as possible. I'm going to be cheap as possible. But there comes a time in life, and this is something you should always be focusing on, where you need to balance things out. So, putting some money aside to focus on things that are healthy for you or to do things that are beneficial for you, it's a healthy thing to do, even if it kind of, you have to spend a little bit more money to do so. So what I've been doing, one of the things I want to start doing is devote a little bit of money towards some of the healthier things in our life that we want. So we've decided to make a $20 a month budget goal for probiotics. So I got some probiotics here. I'm going to give you guys a quick little video of some of the probiotics we bought. So probiotics are good for your guts. They're good for your gut health and your mood and different things like that. And it's something I've learned over the years is absolutely amazing to know how the human body works. And probiotics, fermented foods, are some of the best things you can get. It helps with your your guts, your allergies, your immune system, all these different things. And they actually taste really good. I'm a big fan of them. So the ones we bought this month was going to be, we bought sauerkraut. So I bought some sauerkraut, and I got this cool little gut shot thing here. As you guys can see, I'm going to hold up to the screen. Now this is basically, when you make probiotics, one of the benefits about the probiotic is you ferment the vegetable, right? And then you get the brine. And the brine is something that a lot of people don't think about that's useful. But the brine has a lot of different things. So I found this cool little thing. It's basically like a kimchi brine. So if you guys like so if you guys like kimchi, you like sauerkraut, that kind of stuff, you can actually drink the brine, and it actually is, again, it's going to have those probiotics, and it's something simple you could do. What I do is, like, with every single meal, I kind of take the cap off, or what I do for every single meal is I'll throw a little bit of probiotics in my foods. So with this one, I can just take the cap off, take a tiny little shot, like I literally get a shot glass, and I take a little sip, and that's it. That's simple as that. There's other ones like kefir, whatever, I think it's called, pronounced kefir. That's the milk one. You can do different things like that, and they're not super expensive. If you devote a little bit of money every single month, you can also buy the foods and ferment them yourself. And maybe next time we do this, maybe next month we'll do that. We'll go to the store, I'll buy some cabbage, I'll buy some pickles, or some cucumbers I should say, I'll buy some peppers, and maybe we'll see how much we can ferment for $20 or something like that. That'd be a cool kind of experiment. But you can devote a little bit of money every single month, and maybe you have one serving of probiotics a day kind of thing. Even if you guys are trying to make a budget and stuff like that, it's always important to take care of your health. So this is just a cool little thing I wanted to do, and once again, we'll add it to the list, and over time we can grow our different list of things that we're using our dividends for to benefit our life now. We're not going to wait 15, 20 years when we're already sick and full of disease and stuff like that to make some changes with our life. So I want to start now, and again, just something simple like $5, $10, $15 a month to just start implementing simple things like this can be life changing. So you got to start off somewhere, and you can still hit your financial goals by doing this. So anyways, guys, just a quick little update. I'm going to end the video here because it's getting a little bit long, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update on that. So like usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Take care, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys later.